Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Self-Loathing Pittsburgh Fan. I'm your host, Erik Young. Okay, so we definitely stole that one from the Chargers on Monday. But who cares? Between the injuries and the fucking Ravens, the Steelers have been on the wrong side of some heartbreaking losses this season. So it's about time the karma scales tipped in our favor. Plus, don't look now, but the Steelers defense has climbed to an almost respectable 18th place ranking in the NFL. They've also generated sacks and turnovers for 2 weeks in a row despite the hot mess of injuries to linebackers and defensive backs. But pair that defense with Le'Veon Bell, we've got something that resembles every Steeler team that you ever loved growing up. One centered around irresponsible blitzes and a no imagination run it down your throat ground game. Disclaimer, huge humble brags about to go down. My predictions for the Charger game were so accurate, it's freaky. There were so many things that I got right, ain't nobody got time for me to talk about them all, so let's just read them off rapid fire. I predicted the Steelers to go balls to the wall with blitzes. Despite those blitzes, for Phillip Rivers to still have a pretty good game. The amount of times that Vick threw deep, Antonio Gates' big game, feeding the ball to Le'Veon again and again, and the final score. I predicted the Steelers to win this game against the Chargers 24-17, which means I nailed the Steelers' final score on the head and was only 3 points off of the total points combined. So who's ready to start watching this show for the most accurate Steeler game predictions on the internet? Who's ready to start watching this show at all? Anyone? Now, the one thing I was wrong about was the Steelers' offense mixing in Antonio Brown more frequently. Instead, for the second straight week, AB went ghost as Mike Vick struggled to get the ball in the hands of his most talented receiver. It has to be said, Mike Vick and Antonio Brown have less chemistry than Jesse Pinkman before he started cooking meth with Walter White. But Antonio Brown is known for running crisp routes, getting wide open, and having dependable hands. So it begs the question, how could you not complete a pass to Antonio Brown? Which leads us to our first segment. People who could probably complete a pass to Antonio Brown better than Mike Vick. Tim Tebow, Charlie Batch, Neil O'Donnell, Rosie O'Donnell, Miley Cyrus, The Pope, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Mike Tyson, and Tupac. Any of these folks available to play against the Cardinals this week? Maybe we'll just bring them in for like one trick play. Speaking of which, the Cardinals play the Steelers this Sunday at Heinz Field at 1 p.m. Prediction time. As a dude who owns the Cardinals defense in fantasy, I know firsthand they can not only stop any offense in their tracks, but they can put up points of their own while doing it. Not only that, but remember the karma scale we were talking about earlier in this show? Well, it doesn't bode well for us in this one, folks. Now, whether you believe in that brouhaha or not, the Steelers have done two people dirty on the Cardinals team that are going to be out for blood on Sunday. Carson Palmer and Bruce Arians. So with all that said, I'm afraid I can't even see this one being close. Either the Steelers play too conservative and Bell can't do it all on his own, or they try to just go for it and the Cardinals defense makes them pay. Sure, there are some injuries in the Cardinals defense, but I don't see it taking them off course much. Carson Palmer and the Cardinals offense is also well balanced and poised to have a methodical day. Unfortunately, Steeler fans, I see this final score being 34-22 Cardinals. That takes us back to 500, but Big Ben's return is looming on the horizon. If you would like to see more Self-Loathing Pittsburgh fan, then get at me on Twitter. I won't be watching the game this Sunday because I'll be stuffing my fat face at the Food and Wine Festival in Orlando, Florida. So hit me up if the Steelers wind up playing really awesome so you can tell me I'm a big fat idiot. Until next time, peace!